everyone. Today I want to show you how to break down a turkey. And in doing that, I first have to have a sip of wine. This is a Sauvignon Blanc from Marlborough area of New Zealand. And cheers. So we got this turkey for $6. And I took it out of the packaging. I think we're going to need to adjust the camera a little bit, or the video. I'm going to bring the turkey up. It's a whole turkey. It's about 16 pounds. And I'm going to show you how to pull it apart and dissect it, making some meat for breast meat. And I will make turkey schnitzel out of part of it. Here, you want to make sure you take this plastic thing out. This is what's holding it together. And then you have to pull out from the inside cavity what's in there. Is you have the neck bone. You have a little package of livers and gizzard and heart. And there's still some ice in here. So I'm pulling that out with my hand. It's really quite cold. You can use gloves. Make this process a little better for yourself. But I do prefer clean hands. I think it's better than a glove, and even sometimes safer. In order to pull this apart, you want to pull your legs a little bit away from the skin. Make your first cut, like so. But we need the camera focused on the bird. A little further on the bird. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so as you can see, I made my first incision here, like a surgeon. And you want to rip it a little bit downward. And do another cut into the skin. And pull this back till it kind of rips. And you're kind of pulling it back. And you want to go very gingerly. This is a boning knife, by the way. This has a little bit of a curvature to it. Perfect for doing this type of work. So I'm moving the knife along the edge of the bone. And then voila, it automatically comes out. So I'm going to put this leg and thigh. If I wanted to cut it down further, I would separate the thigh from the leg. But I don't want that. I want it all together. So I'm going to take the other side and do the same thing. And maybe you can see that a little better. So cut this down, your first little cut. Having a very sharp knife is making this job so much easier. And I want to credit my friend Charles for having sharpened my knives for me before I started today. Because otherwise this would be a harder job. So you want to pull that backward until you hear it. Until you hear it pop. Come on, baby. There, and then you can kind of see the bone, and you want to go around it very gingerly. You don't want to take away from the breast meat. And there we go. And if you use the weight and kind of pull with it as your knife is cutting, it also helps make it easier. So now we need to take the wings off. And again, you're gonna like position the bird so that it's easier for you to get to that bone. And you're gonna cut along the bone, wiggle it in, and now I see that bone where the joint is, and I'm gonna pull on it. And you know, if you're not perfect at this, it really doesn't matter. Because what you can do is throw it all in a pot and make a soup, or make your turkey chili out of it, or make turkey stew, whatever it is you want out of it. Here we go again, and along that bone, pull on it, and get in there and take it away. There we go. There, now the wing. Now, here we have 2 wings and 2 drumsticks. This baby, we don't need this. We're gonna pull this out. That's when you roast it. it tells you that it's done, but I have no need for it. All right, I'm gonna take away the backbone first, and by doing that, I'm gonna cut it away from the rest of the bird on one side, then the other, and rip it backward. You can twist it a little to see where it is you need to cut, and then again, go around, and it's separated. This is beautiful for stock, and that's going in my pot. So I'll make turkey stock out of that. And now the rest of it, I'm gonna continue to break down until I get the breast. I still have part of the back to take off. Here we go. There's still ice in here, so it's definitely safe. Pulling the ice out. And then on the other side, there. Now we're going to rip it away and then finish it by cutting it away from the breast. Somehow when you hold it and let gravity do its work by pulling it, and then you're going to see exactly where you need to cut in to release it. I did a little twist. Get that perfect spot where you need to cut it away from the bone. There we go. And that will also go in our pot for stock. Now I have the breasts. I'm going to roast one breast, and the other will be used for turkey schnitzel. So what I want to do is remove the skin on one side, but not the other. So I'm doing a straight cut into the breast to separate the two halves. And then with my fingers, I'm pulling it away from the bone and letting the knife do the work of the separation. Still have some ice in there. And again, doesn't have to be perfect. Whatever is left on the bones, you can put into the pot, and then you have beautiful stock. Later, make a soup or a gravy out of it, or dice it up and use it for your turkey chili or whatever it is you want to make. This little thing is going to go in my stock pot. So here is my breast for making a small roasted breast. The other one, I'm going to take away the skin, and I'll show you how you do that. You want to do that by using the knife a little bit, cutting into it, just where you need to release it from. Find yourself the entry point. Here we go. And then cut away from yourself. You don't want to cut towards yourself. It's quite dangerous. It's a very sharp knife. release the skin from the meat. And you can choose to either throw that skin away or put it in your stock pot. Good flavor. Okay, now with your fingers, you want to feel that breastbone, and you want to take your knife and go along the edge of it, make your way an entry, and you want to separate this meat from that bone, scraping as you go along, and just find where it is. After you do it a few times, you'll figure it out, but if you just let the knife do the work and separate with your fingers, this is why I don't use a glove in this particular application, because it's all in the feel. You have to be able to feel where you need to go with that, with your knife. Pull it aside, away from those bones. There we go, almost there. And this is going in the pot. Not over the wine, but careful. Okay, and I'm gonna, any remaining pieces of skin, get rid of. Now I have a nice piece here, and get rid of some fat that you see. And then check that you've got it trimmed nicely. This is gonna be for what I call, for my turkey schnitzel, also known as turkey cutlet. Here I'm going to pull this out. There we go. Don't want that. And I'm going to trim that up and take this away. These all little pieces can go in my soup pot. Now I'm going to cut this into small pieces like so. This is about the perfect size for a turkey cutlet or a schnitzel. Another one. I'm going to separate the breast a little bit more. There we go. I want to make this a little smaller. There's a beautiful piece. Okay. And then this one, perfect. I'm cutting it sort of on a diagonal to make it look like a natural cut. And then this one here, I'm gonna cut off a little of the top to make it more of an even piece. So here we go. And then I have a little bit of the cartilage I'm gonna get rid of. There we are. Pull that aside. I don't want that. And a little excess skin is here. Get rid of that too. I'll maybe trim these up a little bit to make them look nicer, and I can use those in my stock. Put that one in my stock. So now I have, let's see how many pieces I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 nice pieces for a turkey schnitzel. Turkey neck, I'm going to put that in with the stock. These chicken livers I'm going to give to the dog. I'm going to saute them up, unless my husband starts eating them first. And I have meals for 7 servings of a turkey schnitzel, which will be pounded out thin later on, and flour, egg wash, and breadcrumbs. And then that will be fried in an oil. And this will be used for a roast turkey breast and for sandwiches. And then I have the leg and the thigh. I'll probably roast that and maybe, or I might put it in the soup pot and cut that all up for, what did I want to make out of it? A turkey salad. Okay, there we are. So let me wipe my hands a little. And speaking of hands, clean hands is better than a gloved hand, because when you see people in the kitchen with gloves on, you don't know when they actually changed those gloves. So on that, bon appetit and cheers.